What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron, and it is time for a Request Wednesday. That's right, Request Wednesday is finally back. Hoping to do it a little bit more frequently. So with that said, if you got anything you want me to check out, leave a comment below letting me know what it is, and I'll make it happen for you. But for today's review, we're going to be checking out the new and debut album, Planet Storm, by the band Anomaly. Anomaly is a melodic technical death metal band from Wisconsin. They started around 2011, and like I said, Planet Storm is their first studio album. They do have one EP out, and Planet Storm really is a concept album about space exploration and adventure and kind of the dangers, and it's a little haunting, so it's a little bit more of a darker side of this space exploration. The album opens up with the song Zero Gravity, which is a very atmospheric instrumental song that really gives you a sense of navigating through space, but it's actually the initial countdown to their rocket launching going into space. And then it goes into the song A Gift from Theia, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Theia is an ancient planet that collided with early Earth 4.5 billion years ago, and the debris from that collision is what forms our current moon. The song comes in with a very aggressive riff and drum passage before like a little mini solo breaks out. I love the back and forth style melody in the verses. The chorus is extremely chaotic as the drums and guitars kind of speed up a little bit. I just can't get enough of the cadence, specifically in the guitar riff and the verse. The breakdown has a nice pinched harmonic thrown in there, kind of reminds me a little bit of Pantera, and then it just takes off into a blistering solo. It's absolutely fantastic phrasing throughout this entire song. Then we have the song Lurking in the Boots Void, I believe, or Bootes Void. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Boots or Bootes means the great nothing, and it is the largest void that we have so far discovered in space. There's apparently very few galaxies within this section of space, which is kind of weird to say because you think that a galaxy would take up a lot of area and it wouldn't be considered a void at that point, but it's very few amount of galaxies take it up, so that means there's just a lot of space throughout it, and it's very dark. The song is super chunky, has tons of blast beats throughout with some nice turnarounds. The guitar riff is kind of sporadic sounding, and the vocals in the song are a little bit more dynamic throughout. The chorus doesn't hit until about halfway through the song, and then it goes from technical to a little bit more of a bouncy sounding song, but the chorus is absolutely huge with like a synthy piano section and very powerful drum pattern. Even the vocals have a pretty good hook in them if you can understand what they're saying. The guitar solo explores the entire fretboard, it seems like, before the song turns into like a 2001 Space Odyssey inspirational thing. Then we have the song Caught in the Ergosphere. The Ergosphere is the section outside of the black hole before you reach the event horizon. And imagine a black hole is a funnel here and it comes up and it opens. The Ergosphere, I believe, is a section that's right here before you actually start to dip into the black hole. It has a very technical, dynamic riff that starts things off, and then the drums come in and they're very sporadic, kind of sound like they're doing their own thing. There's a pretty piano piece in the breakdown. The chorus has this rising and falling effect to it, kind of like, I don't know, what you would experience in this kind of situation. The lyrics communicate the fear and danger and just the inevitable doom that I feel like you would be facing in this kind of situation. The solo sounds like they're really fighting for their life, and the breakdown, or I guess the bridge at this section, is really atmospheric and haunting, and it has a melody that feels super dark and very hopeless. And then a clean guitar comes in with some strummed out chords, and it lays the foundation for the guitar solo that kind of, to me, signals that the ship is actually reaching the event horizon. So now the ship is being pulled in, and there's kind of like this montage feel of struggle and panic as it's being completely consumed, it seems like. Then there's like this interlude kind of song, which is like the calm before the storm. I don't know, I'm assuming maybe they got sucked in the black hole and they shot out and everything's kind of peaceful. The song is called Entreress, and Terrace, I believe that's how it's pronounced, which is the 15th brightest star in our current sky. It's about 12 times larger than our sun, and it's got this instrumental with another kind of broadcast thing. It has a very Tron-inspired sounding synth beat to it, and it flows directly into the song. Subterranean Worlds, which has this thrashy kind of feel to it, followed by a dynamic riff that builds up into the verse. It has blast beats that end going into the post-chorus, and it carries nicely into the chorus. That's very, very drum and vocal forward. There are some deeper vocals that really help carry verse 2, it seems like, with like a little piano synthy melody thing going on. And the guitar solo is very, very emotional sounding. It is pretty long, but I think, again, it's like the start of their space exploration once they've reached this new place. I'm not sure if this is exactly what the tension or where the album is leaning, but this is just kind of how I take it, especially since I don't have the lyrics for the last half of the album. I kind of just have to go by what the music is making me feel. Then we have the title track song, Planet Storm. Reminds me a lot of like an older death metal song, like, I don't know, At the Gates, maybe something like that. Mainly because of the riff and the drum passage. It just has that old kind of dark sound to it. And the solo after each one of the little mini choruses that we get sounds fantastic. It's just this little technical guitar passage that comes after the hook. This is Planet Storm. The bridge and the solo are very pretty and it's very mellow, but this song gives a feeling of not so much grief, maybe wariness. Like this adventure is starting to really wear these people down. They're getting kind of tired. They're very far away from home. It doesn't look like they're probably going to be making it back. But yeah, it just gives that feeling of wariness to me. The Observable Universe is another thrashy song that has a very gnarly sounding main riff to it. It's very dynamic, but also kind of stompy at the same time. The melodies that sound like they're an orchestration sound super epic. It adds a lot to the song, especially when the vocals come in, which are very powerful. And the breakdown isn't really that unique, other than the fact that there aren't that many very prominent sounding breakdowns. But I will say that little orchestrated synthy melodies added in there make it so much better. And it's even more so when the deeper sounding vocals come in. And the outro has this super nice climax to it. It's pretty long, but it just sounds so freaking epic throughout this entire song. The closing track, Remains of Cosmic Catastrophe. This is kind of where I felt like this album was going. It's very haunting. It has acoustic guitar in the intro with this fuzzy sounding lead guitar playing a solo over it. Then the song comes in just absolutely crazy, full swinging. The riff in this song doesn't sound as prominent. It's a lot more drum and vocal forward, it seems like, until you get to the chorus. But even then, it still is a little bit more drum focused. But then the song builds into this guitar that sounds like, I don't know, it's shooting lasers or something. I'm not sure if it's a synth. I'm pretty sure it's a guitar though. Then there's like this dueling guitar solo that sounds really sick. And then the very lengthy outro on this is extremely epic. It ties in this whole album very well. I really wish I had the lyrics for the last section of this just so I can really understand what's going on. But like I said, based off what the music sounds like and just the atmosphere, and also the song name, Remains of a Cosmic Catastrophe, I could kind of assume what might have happened. I absolutely adore this album. It captures the terror of space and just the specific locations that they travel to. It's very haunting. It's very dark. You get this sense of danger in the music, and the aggressive rhythms and the drum work create this atmosphere of just hostility, while the melodies and the guitar solos create an atmosphere of wonder and mystery. And it's almost like a haunted spaceship kind of story, it seems like. I just love how kind of scary it is. The only issue I had with this album, if you could even really consider it to be an issue, were the vocals. Sometimes the vocal ranges were too perpetual. They were just too much the same. It did have its moments where it went higher and when it went lower, but it was just kind of the same throughout all the songs. It becomes kind of tiring, but then at the same time, it fits the rest of the music, fits the theme very well, and it fits the emotion that to me, like I said, I felt like the songs were trying to come off. I felt like I got that communication from it very well, even not getting the lyrics, which is absolutely fantastic. And there's a show on Netflix. It's called Love, Death, Robots, or Death, Love, Robots, something like that. And in the first season, there's an episode called Beyond the Quela Riff or something along those lines, where there's these space travelers who wake up from a deep sleep to find out that they've been traveling for light years in the wrong direction that they were supposed to be going in, and they have to try and figure out where they're at. And I I found myself thinking back to that episode a lot while I was listening to this album. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to leave a name for it down right here so that way you know exactly what it is. If you want to check it out, it's fantastic. It's got a great twist to the end of it. But yeah, it just reminded me a lot of that, which is fantastic considering the fact that, like I said, I didn't have half the lyrics throughout like the back half of this album. I just kind of had to go off of feel, and a couple of the lyrics I was able to pick up here and there listening with headphones on. And I'm so happy this album was recommended to me, and I'm so happy to finally get back to Request Wednesday. So with all that said, I got to give Planet Storm by Anomaly a 8.4 out of 10. And since this is their first album, I'm going to assume that you guys probably haven't even heard of this band. So go ahead and check them out. Give them a listen, at least a couple of their songs, specifically if you're into melodic death metal, because it's a very specific genre that not everybody's going to like. But leave a comment below letting me know what your favorite song is and what you would rate it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Leave a comment below letting me know what I should review next. If you want to help support me and my YouTube channel and what I do here, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon, especially if you leave a request for Request Wednesday, because sometimes that happens and people don't end up coming back and they don't see the requests. In fact, I reassured the person who left the request for this album. I let them know at least twice that I was working on it and I'd be getting to it, and it'd only been like maybe 3 weeks since the last time I let them know, so hopefully they're able to check back in and see this, and I'm hoping to make it more of a regular thing. So yeah, if you leave a request, I promise you guys I'm writing it down. I got a list of a bunch of stuff, and I will be trying to get to all of them. If I could at least do this bi-weekly, that'd be super cool. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.
I was trying to make it relying